Alright guys, I'm doing a live stream today. I'm working on some art here for, my website and my booth at, Terror Trader, where I do a lot of my stuff, so just trying to get a better angle here, because this is a bigger canvas than I usually work on. Just so you can get a little shot of this. Alright. Okay. So today I'm working on some killer clown art. I'm not working on some Garbage Pail Kids. Switching it up. I expect this to be a quiet stream, clearly. I didn't really promote it or anything. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Just wanted to go live with my art. Not an everyday thing of late, but, I think it's a good thing to just work on some different stuff, So, this is a piece I just finished up that I'm going to frame up and have in my booth. I haven't decided yet if I want to do backgrounds on these. Maybe once I scan them in, I will, but I think they kind of stand on their own. But we'll see how it goes once I finish it up. So usually when I do my comic covers, I do backgrounds. So that's why I'm struggling with whether I should do backgrounds for this or not. It's a different thing for me. So we'll see how that goes. Right now I am using my pink marker here to kind of delineate where I'm going to lay down some other colors later on. Just doing kind of like, the veiny stuff right now. For the most part, I'm not going to use too many colors on this. Like when I did this piece, yes, I did mainly like pinks and grays. So it's kind of what I'm going to do for the skin tone, since it's kind of like how they are on the actual Killer Clowns. Hey, what's up, Michael? How's it going? I'm just doing some Killer Clown art, trying to stock up my booth at this store where I have a lot of my horror art. We're really low on art. We sold a lot of late, so just trying to kind of get some new art in there. And that means I have to make some, so I'm just doing this, switching up what I usually do on this channel. I feel like variety is important, so doing this Killer Clown sketch, I think it's coming out pretty good. I'm just trying not to rush through it, Hopefully I got a good angle on there. I'm not gonna do a lot of blacks, if I do some blacks, it's gonna be Copic and at the very end. But yeah, I'm just working on the skin tone. Kind of want to make it a little gross and rubbery, but like lived in, so that's why it's like pink and gray, sort of mottled and weird. The nose is gonna be all like red and freaky too, like a clown makeup nose. I like these characters though, they're fun to draw, so basically just sketching with these markers, which I don't really do too much. I feel like a lot of the Garbage Pail Kid cards I was doing of late have been pretty tight, so I'm trying to be a little looser with my pencils and sketching. Yeah, also the other reason I'm not drawing a Garbage Pail Kid card right now is just I'm trying to mix up what I'm doing, and I feel a few times I've been doing sketches and I'm like, I feel like, people come in expecting that, and then I don't really have a plan for what I'm drawing. So I end up with a drawing I don't really know what to do with at the end. So if I have a plan, then I'm more likely to, attack it. Although I think I might have some plans for some of those kinds of sketches in the future. Just today, this is what I felt like doing. Hopefully you guys can see all right. Oh, the light's a little bright. Yeah, I mainly just felt like drawing, so I'm on here drawing. Did you see the Moonlight trailer? Yeah, I saw it. I'm gonna be real, I think it looks kind of shitty. I don't know why Oscar Isaac's doing that stupid accent, and it continues my kind of level of disinterest lately with some of this Marvel stuff. I'm like, ugh. Like, I'm sure the series will probably. I didn't really like, Hawkeye, and I'm like, I think Moon Knight is a really uninteresting character, personally. So, hopefully, they found a way of making him interesting. Yeah, because, I mean, even the big thing, if you ask comic fans, is Moon Knight is an interesting costume without a character. I mean, that's kind of true. Yeah. He has the powers of the moon. He's Egyptian. What else can we say about Moon Knight? I mean, oh yeah, he's schizophrenic. I mean, I don't know how any of that shit is gonna come across well on a TV show, but Marvel's currently in this let's try to make lightning strike twice thing. Like, they made Guardians of the Galaxy interesting. But they haven't really succeeded with, anything else. Eternals was horrifically boring. Although it's sad to me seeing, like, fanboys trying to say, "Oh no, it was so good, you guys. Eternals was so good." And I'm like, yeah, right. I think there's a reason nobody talks about that. I mean, Shang-Chi was good, don't get me wrong. But, if you screw up Shang-Chi, then you're really bad. I mean, it's the kung fu, like fantasy. That's like an entire genre of Chinese movies. You know, they're called wuxia. You know. All right, I'm doing the forehead right here. Yeah, Chinese epic martial arts fantasy movies is a whole genre. It's called wuxia. Wuxia. Well, that's pretty cool right there. Oh, I like how that's coming out is a better way of saying it. Like, I'm just trying not to rush through it so it looks good. Have you noticed MCU is going downhill? Hopefully you don't miss Doctor Strange 2. To be honest, Doctor Strange 1 was not that good. I liked Doctor Strange 1 at the time, but, I'm going to be real. I haven't really felt a need to rewatch it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the MCU has not been very interesting for a moment. I would think anyone who argues otherwise is kind of just talking out their ass. I know a lot of people who like Spider-Man, but I mean, it's really a fan service movie, which seems to be the only thing people like nowadays. Like, oh, remember this movie that reminds you of a movie you liked when you were younger? By all means, watch it. Ghostbusters Afterlife is like that. It's just Ghostbusters 1 with new people. I mean, even Scream that just came out, it's just Scream with new people. It's the exact same movie. You know, and I get it. Studios are happy just to get people in the door watching movies, but dude, it's like, you know, it doesn't make me all that excited about movies when it's like, I already saw this movie with different characters than like 20 years ago, you know? But then they're like, well, anyone who really wants to think about, you know, their entertainment is just watching television, you know? And it's like, you know, I know television is better than movies now, which is really weird. But it's still frustrating because I'm like, movies cost more than television. Although I guess the price of Netflix is going up to $20. I'm like, dude, I'm like, how are you going to sustain that? I mean, I'm not going to pay $25 for Netflix. You know, like, it is just going to keep going up and up. How do you even know what shit we like, you know? Like, what am I paying for exactly? For Netflix to buy movies I don't want to watch, you know? But since they're spending more and more on what they do, I guess they need to find a way to make more money. And they should put some of their stuff in theaters, you know? I mean, that makes sense to me. Why do I have to foot the bill for, you know, Arcane or, you know, Cobra Kai season 5, you know? Man, let me just tell you, I've been a Netflix subscriber for so long. I had the plan where you got DVDs in the mail and streaming. So it's like, I kind of miss that. I don't think Netflix even does DVDs in the mail anymore. But then most places don't even sell DVDs anymore. Go to Target or like Best Buy. It's like if you want to. Have you seen the Utopia on Amazon? I don't know if I have or not. I'd have to know more about it. The name doesn't ring a bell. You guys liking this face? I think it's a pretty good face. I don't know if people are digging my not drawing Garbage Pail Kids today. I'm just like doing something different. I like this face though. Alright, let's do a little bit of this thing here. So, my first killer clown print I did was actually this guy. But he was a little too dark, so I might actually redo this print with a scan of this. So I'm gonna scan these when I'm done. This week is like flying by though. I can't believe it's already like Tuesday night. I mean, that means tomorrow's Wednesday. Jesus. I'm gonna do another layer of glue on this darker blue once I'm done. Yeah, I've been considering getting into watercolor pens, just so I could have a little more texture when I color. It's Jason. What up, man? How's it going, dude? Yeah, I'm drawing a non-GPK drawing today just because I felt like going live, but I didn't feel like drawing a GPK right now. I'm just trying to switch it up a little bit. So I'm working on some stuff for my Etsy and for for my Etsy and for my stall at the horror store. I'm gonna go over with a darker blue and then somebody speaking Russian or something that I cannot make out. Alright, I think this guy has like bluish eyes. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm trying to switch it up. Basically, what I was saying earlier was like sometimes I come on the stream and I'm like not total. I'm feeling like drawing, but I'm not always feeling drawing a Garbage Pail Kid. So I'm just trying to like just draw what I feel, you know, at the moment. Because I feel like a few of my the sketches I've done on stream lately that weren't commissions have been a little like tight. And what I mean by that, it's like like a little, like they don't feel like they have life to them, you know. Also, I mean that's not a drag. I mean I'm just saying like I don't like feeling stifled when I'm drawing, and I feel like it's like I'm trying to force it so it's not flowing, you know? So I'm trying to make my stuff flow as much as I can. Like this feels like it has life to me, you know? Plus, I'm going to be drawing a lot of Garbage Pail Kids sooner rather than later, so I'd rather not be burnt out, you know? And I will let you guys in on what I talk about that soon, but I can't talk about it now. Just needless to say, I've been working on some stuff for Tops that I can't really talk about, so there you go. Exactly. See, I think that's a good face. So this is the other one I did, and right now this one came out good, I think. I'm just trying to figure out if I should do backgrounds on these or leave them blank. I kind of think they look cool, just like little portraits, because they're going to be framed up. So I figure I just do a good job on the portrait part, and then I don't have to really worry about the, the background. Though I usually like to do backgrounds, you know? I'll be layering on a lot of color on this one. Just because if you've seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, their skin is really like mottled and stuff. Kind of rubbery and gross. What's dumb is I went to the... Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, this is closer to, like, the style I actually like to color in. Like, this is how I got good at using, these kinds of markers. Versus, the GPK stuff, which I feel I kind of have to dial down a little. But I feel like I want to, like, start doing GPKs a little closer to this, maybe, like... You guys have seen it. It's like when I've done those Basil Go-Go style ones with all the freaky colors. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm really into, so I just need to integrate that into my you know, trading card art more. And this is a lot bigger than a trading card, so I can squeeze a lot more detail in here. This is about 5 by 7. Yeah, I've been talking to my girlfriend. I know this will want to get into doing more painting this year. So when I end up doing Gross Card Con later this year, you know, this summer, because it's in the summer, I'm going to have some paintings for that. Just overlining the lips with some pink so the lipstick looks a little smeared. I'm going to do a lot of gray and stuff on here, so that might not show up in the end, but I just want to have it now just so I know it's there, you know? So I'm going to walk a fine line between overworking it and detail, you know? So I think we're going to get a good amount of detail, especially since I'm going to come in with a purple and a dark gray and a black eventually. So I have a photo reference on the side, but I'm kind of just use that for the base drawing, and now I'm kind of just going a little loose. So it's kind of like my take, but also inspired by photo ref. Yeah, I also really like doing all these like folds and stuff. That's why I like drawing zombies. Like one of the first sets I did for Tops was Walking Dead, and that was a ton of fun. But by then Walking Dead had kind of like reached its, you know, so I only did like one set of Walking Dead. That looks pretty good. Trying to go light on the pink because I'm going to go in with a darker gray. And it's going to void a lot of the pink stuff I'm doing. So I'm going to have to come in later with it. This is kind of like a light dragon drop with this color. But it looks good. I'm digging it, you know. Alright. I think we should go in with the gray before I put in too much detail. Because if I go in with the gray and it's heavy, a lot of it's going to get lost anyway. So I'm like wasting my time, you know. So let's see how it looks. See, that looks good. And we go over in the red too. And I'm gonna, you know, where I'm putting the gray over the red here, I'm gonna go over that with black later. I'm just laying the shading down first. There's a guy who does a lot of zombie cover paintings. His name is Arthur Sweedam. And he kind of does this, you know, gray over color thing to mute it out. I might do, if I eventually, once I get caught up on my commissions and stuff, which I'm going to try to do this week, you know, hopefully, knock on wood, is is do some zombie, because I have tons of those comic book blank covers. So I'm gonna do some of those, but zombie, because I think that'd be fun. And I can put some of those in my booth, actually. I didn't mean to line that eye so heavy, but we'll run with it. Just make it look like shading from the skin right there. But yeah, I just want to finish up because I still got that Alfred E. Newman I need to finish up for you. And if you want another sketch, because I know it rolled over again, so I should do another sketch for you to go along with the Alfred E. Newman. So if there's a sketch you want, just let me know, and I can do them both at the same time this week. Besides that one. See, now I'm chasing you for the sketches. Like, let me know what you want. All right, thanks, man. So this guy has actually like a cut above his, like the crow. So I'm just gonna do that right now because it'll help look. Yeah, see, that looks cool. I'm just waiting for that to come in. All right, so now I'm gonna do the grooves in his forehead, and I kind of have to do it like I did this stuff with the pink, just not too heavy. Yeah, I did a event at Terror Trader, which is a store where we set up at last week, and we were just sketching killer clowns, which was really fun. I think that might have put that in my head to do some killer clown sketches because people like them, you know. I'll do like some garbage pail kid killer clowns this week. I got to start putting some stuff up on Deal or No Deal because I've been, neglecting doing the live stuff, and so I got to make sure my name stays out there. Well, it looks good right there. Alright, let's do this hair here. Like the green, right? Trying to do natural breaks on the hair more. Because that helps me on the lighting. Because the top of the hair here is going to be a darker green. And the bottom is going to be a darker green. So go to the gym tonight too, so we'll see. Maybe I'll work on this later, finish it up. But I like how it's coming out. Much nicer than I thought it would, actually. Maybe doing it this way, you know, is a little bit more helpful to my creative process. All right, I'm gonna go over some of this pink with light gray. Kind of a nice way to introduce lighting, you know, as it were. Yeah, that works. I gotta put some of that darker gray on this side too. And some of this pink will get eaten up when I actually put black down. And then I'm gonna do some drop, you know, I forget what you call it, pointillism shading. I'm gonna drop some dots of different colors on the skin, kind of give it a little bit of a pores, give it a feeling of pores. All right, I'm gonna drop some darker blue on here now. I'll give it a little bit more life. So usually I leave some like white in the blue, and I use, you know, using the back of the paper as the natural white, like tattoos, where the skin color is skin color, you know, or is your skin. But I'm finding at least this, when the background's white, it's better just do a lighter blue beneath, and then you get that natural lighter blue thing there. And then if I want, I can come in with like a white gel pen to do the extra like bright white. Gives it a little bit more life. So that's something I'm trying to do more. But yeah, the blue ring there looks really good, I think. That's the thing, even as you get older, you gotta keep practicing, because you'll learn more stuff as you go. I feel like I'm still learning stuff anyway. Alright. I'm doing a blue outline around the eye here. Just give it a little life. I am gonna do a black dot in the center. Pupil. I think that's what it's called. So already, I mean, it already looks really alive. I like that. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing I did here, down here with this collar. Just kind of roughly give some life to this thing. Yeah, that's what it's all about, trying to give this thing life. It's very fun. Alright, and this right here is shadow. Oh, don't worry about it, man. You know, this is basically a bonus stream. I didn't really promote it. I'm just doing some killer clown artwork. I might use it for some prints, or I also might, and I'm gonna scan it in. I'll probably use it for some future prints, and then the originals I'm gonna put up in my store. because we're low on original art in my shop, so I'm like, time to make some new art. Yeah, the other thing I'm thinking I'm gonna do this week is I have a lot of those zombie covers, so I might do some superhero zombie sketch covers to put up in my web store. Or my horror trade or terror trader. That looks good. I like how this came out, the blue on the blue. We're gonna do that with the green right now too, so. Just, you do a light green and then a dark green, See what I mean? All right. Got to make sure I get the little crown. And then what I mean is the brush strokes. That way they look like hair. So you can't just do a straight line. It has to have that, like, little hash mark, because then it looks like hair. And I'm able to get more detail here than I can on my sketch cards, because this is a bigger canvas, Then I'm gonna go in with another darker green once this dries out in a minute, because it's gonna spread when it dries a little bit. The tooth on this paper bleeds a little bit. So that's another thing. Sometimes you got to be aware of the kind of paper you use, so that way you don't go in with details right away. Because you want to let things, if they're gonna bleed, just let them bleed, and then you can settle and put in the detail. If you guys don't know what this is, and I'm like, not just talking to you guys, because I know people watch this afterwards, this is a killer clown from outer space. Like I said, we'll do darker green, because that'll look kind of like black on the roots. All right here, we gotta be really careful to make sure it pulls up like hair. So see, that looks good. All right, so let's get that last shade of green down. Actually, I could do 2 more shades if I really wanted to get crazy, but we'll see. I like something when I go through this many layers of color. I'm like, yeah, I gotta layer it in so it looks really good. See that? That looks pretty good. And I'm not saying I'm the best artist or anything. I'm just saying this is how I do things. I know lots of other people do stuff differently. So see, what I'm looking at now is I feel like I should extend this a little bit. And then that gives me a 3rd shade. Yeah, see, that flows a little bit better. And gives it kind of like a rocket pop look to the hair a little bit. I mean, not literally, but like gradation. Yeah, like if I do this again, maybe I'll be a little looser with the dark green. So it feels a little more. Yeah, that might be the way to go about it. But I am going to go darker with the other features. And then I'm just going to add some dark gray at the bottom of this hair here. Because I am eventually going to put a little bit of black here. And the upside with this being a weird character is if I go a little bit over or under the line, that's okay. I can turn it into like a boil or a zit or something. Just give another layer of this here. But like I said, I am going to add some black, so I'm not going to trip too much over it. All right, so instead of what I usually do, you know, using the Micron Figma 1, which is over here somewhere, I use this Copic and do the brush tip, not the chisel tip, the brush tip. We're going to bring in some detail that way because this is going to be much darker. So we're going to add a dark line on the eyelids, and it's going to look like, you know, eyelashes. But we're going to be loose with this. Like, I'm not going to outline every single thing. And then we're going to come in with the gray afterward. You see what I mean? It's kind of like outline, but not completely. It's kind of like a sketchy overline. And it's going to be heavier in some spots than others. See what I mean? So I think that's looking pretty good. And if you're enjoying this sketch, please feel free to give a like. I know it's a small sketch audience today, but if you like this and want a little bit more variety like this, you know, let me know. Because I enjoy doing the variety. Alright, we're gonna line the lip here too a little bit. Again, the goal is to do it light, kind of craggly. The more kind of like lines I can get, the better. You know, like cracked lips, like this guy doesn't use chapstick. You know, and the goal is to not overwork it, so I'm trying not to. Hopefully I do a good job of not overworking it. Because he was looking good before, you know. Just gotta keep the cracks loose. but I can always fix it with like, you know, going over it with the gray near the end. I'm gonna make this a little fatter because I'm gonna add some, you know, some red there because I feel like this chin needs to be a little puffier. Alright, here's where I had some gray. So some of this gray here is going to become black. I'm also trying to make sure it matches up with, you know, the other clown sketch I did, because these are going to be together. So there's going to be some overline and stuff, just because I want them to look like they're in the same batch, you know. I also like that he's like, you know, nice and creepy and chubby, you know. Yeah, that's looking good right there. Just in a clown mood. Thanks, man. I'm glad you're digging it. Alright. Add some more lines here. And we haven't even done this part yet, so there's more to come. Alright, so this part here, like, there's a lot of gray here, and I want this to be dark, so I'm gonna let loose with the Copic a little bit there, and right here. Which is nice because I'm doing really precise lines with this Copic brush pen. And so it's nice to just kind of be like, oh, give me a big area of black so my wrist isn't as tight. Because, yeah, when I do really fine brush tip work, I have to kind of like tighten up my wrist a bit. When you're doing it for a while, it hurts because I'm old. I'm not really old, but I'm old in the dramatic YouTube sense of the word. That being said, my wrist does pop very loudly, so. Oh, the camera didn't catch it, but sometimes it pops super loud. Alright. That's a good creepy ear, though. Alright, let's do the other eye. Because then after you've done a lot of it well, you like worry like, oh god, well, I still got to do a precise area. What if I fuck that up? All this detail work will be for nothing. I'm not worried about it though. It's coming out good. We're gonna have to add some gray to this area though. It's a little not as shaded in as this other area for some reason. So we'll just add like some boils and shit while we're inking it. Here's another good tip. If you're gonna you know, add a lot of detail when you ink in a drawing you're doing and then you have to ink it, try to hold off on doing the detail work till you ink it, because it's much more fun and less painful than going in and inking all the loose pencil detail. So here I was able to create a lot of detail just because like I suggested where some should be, you know, and then I didn't have to actually go in and like try to like match up all the loose pencil detail. Because the upside is if you fuck up while you're doing the, you know, the inking, you can always add a little boil or a dot or something, and then it just becomes more detail, which people like anyway. They're like, oh, detail. And it's like, yeah, you never knew that was me fucking up because I can't draw a straight line. And now, like, when I'm drawing the hairline here, I'm just adding little pops and boils for fun, you know? I shouldn't go too crazy because I'm going to go over this with a color marker once I'm done inking it, and then I'm going to add more boils and stuff. So, you don't want, it's a delicate balance, you know? It's like, I'm going to add more, but wait, do it in color. All right, then. But the color areas, knock yourself out. Like, you know, this, you know, ring around his eye. I can do as much shit as I want there because I'm not going to go over it with another color probably. You see how I'm being really precise with this like thing. Like I should just probably grab some more of these Copic pens and ink with these. You know what I'm saying? They're a lot more fun than the Figmas sometimes. Got like a little Mobius thing going on here. You wanna look it up? Moebius, Mobius, French artist. It is fun to ink with a brush pen, you know. This does a good job, you know. I used to, when I was in high school, I used to be very into like pen and ink. And I'm still pretty good with like inking with a brush. That's how I used to ink comics back in the day, with a brush. You know, people actually would ink actual artwork. And it's like now I'm like, okay, I'm adding too much detail. But not really. It's just not as much as the other guy. But he's chubbier, so I'm okay with it. So now let's do the hair. So see, I told you I would end up doing some black on here. Like that? That's pretty good, I think. Alright. I'm going to do a little bit here. Again, not too much. Like I said, never... Just like anything else. Like, I'm not trying to, like, heavily color everything, just like I'm trying not to heavily ink everything. Just do enough. Do enough that it's, like, there, you know? And what do I mean by do enough? You know, just kind of have to follow your gut on these things. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, everything's good. Just, you know, doing some killer clowns here today. And I thought I would end up doing more layers on his face of color, because I did on the other clown, but I don't really think in the end he really needed it. Like, this guy had a lot going on. Maybe I'll do some on his eyelids. Let me look. Like, I feel like he's pretty detailed and doesn't really need it, you know? Like, I might do some, like, of this pink on the eyelid. Yeah, I feel like that's all it kind of needs. Like, this one didn't have a lot. let's, just a little bit here. This is a very fine micron. It's a 0.30 millimeter, 0.3 millimeter. I'm just doing this because you can do some fine detail work with it. Usually I do little lines and shit on the boils. And it looks nice. It doesn't really take away from anything. Because sometimes you want to get those super tiny details that you probably wouldn't see otherwise. Like, look at that. Isn't that cool? Around the eyes here a little bit. Just a few places where you think it might go. And whether you're drawing anything, if you're drawing Garbage Pail Kids, sometimes it's good to draw other stuff so you have a baseline. And even then, this is a good way of doing it. If you draw Garbage Pail Kids, this is a good baseline for doing like Mad Balls, So these are going to go together, like framed up. So I feel like they go well together already. All right, so now we got to do his little bib. And you're like, so you might be like, oh, Victor, you saved the least interesting part for last. I'm like, no, this could either go really slow or really fast, but it's always good to do cloth. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to see what color would be best served. So this is more of a dark salmon pink. So I have a salmon pink. I also have that powder pink we've been using. So let's kind of play with shading here for a minute. And then there's a little zigzag pattern on it. So this is actually gonna, we'll see, because it might change how we see the face. So this salmon is a little faded, but that's good because it'll suggest that it's dirty. And since this is kind of like a portrait, we're gonna let it fade out. So it's good that it's a little patchy. But this also reminds me I need to get a new one of these markers tomorrow. So Always test your markers. So, but it's good because I need something patchy like this, and I didn't have to fake it, which is good. All right. And now you can see that this gives me some opportunity for shading. And what do you mean by that, Victor? Well, because it's patchy, you know it's not a solid line, and I can add in other colors to kind of just give it a little bit of life. And I just hit a black too, which is good because we want this guy to be a little dirty. So that's a happy accident. All right. So now we're going to go in with our powder pink, which is a lighter one, but it'll interact well with this color. So watch. See? This color is not this color, you know? It'll dry much lighter, but when we go over the patchy, it'll actually, the patchiness of the salmon, it actually fills it in a little bit. But it's also dragging our pencil a little bit. So we do a couple layers and suddenly our dead salmon pink is a little alive. So this is a trick you can do when you have a color that's dying and you have one that's like a lighter shade of that color. Just lay down the dying color. You're going to open some GPK soon, mainly been baseball mail days, which is coming up soon. Well, you know, there's a lot of GPK in the what do you call it? The pipeline. So hopefully there'll be fresh GPK about like February. Thanks, man. But yeah, what I was saying, if you have a dying color, lay a lighter color on top once it dries, and it'll look like the darker color. You've revived it. This is kind of like the same principle of underpainting, where you lay your do it in gray, and then when you do color on top, it's like richer or darker depending on your light source. All right, so now I'm not going to use this pink I did on the face. I'm going to go in with Orchid, which is a much different shade, but what it's going to do is kind of just let us play with shading a little bit, because we're going to go over this with a gray, and I'm not going to be too precious about this. Yeah, I'm like zoom, zoom, zoom. Like, I don't want to lay it down too hard because I don't want it to bleed. I just, you know, want to lay some down. All right, and that's about as much as I want there. Now we're gonna go in with the gray a little bit. We're gonna go have a darker gray too, probably, but not. Yeah, this is what I want. This is the gray I want. So we lay this here, 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 here. It's like we're just, you know, painting on top. I'm trying to make this as interesting as I can. It just gives him that extra grunge thing, because you don't want to think he's like a regular clown. He's a killer clown from outer space, right? All right, now we're gonna do this gray over the purple. It has to be pretty much right over it, because I don't want this orchid to be as vibrant. But by doing it right over the purple, it still gives us a nice little texture. And we're gonna go over this with the black in a minute. You notice it looks a little bit like dirty and translucent a little bit, and that's kind of what I wanted. All right, now we're gonna do the main pattern on this thing, which is kind of like a zigzag. You know, it's like a 60s kind of, or, you know, it's like a zigzag kind of. And the trick here is to try to be consistent with it. Right? Like it's on here, try to keep it the same length, or the same brush width. So just be careful, because you control the width with how you're pushing on the marker. Your wrist control, everything. Like, this is you. doing this, we're also gonna do a few deep blacks here, and that's, you know, deep and not deep, because that's gonna be the folds. All right, now we've left this nice little line here, and that's how we're gonna finish this up, because there's a gold trim on it. So let's do the gold trim. Do, do, do. And we're just gonna do the powdered pink at the bottom of that trim. I know this is gonna have a little bleed, but here it doesn't matter because this is the end of the drawing. And that's our drawing, right? You know, I'm gonna look at this and say, you know what? I actually do want to put a little bit of black at the end of this, because I want to make sure it looks finished. And since we have control of the brush line, we can do this and have it not look weird. See? So just make sure you do it thin, because then it looks kind of like a taffeta, or you know what I mean, like a, you know, translucent, like, you know, taffeta kind of thing. And you do the same thing with the line on top. And you can bring this down because I know the pattern extends through to the yellow if you want. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Look at that weird chubby clown. He has a name, I can't remember what it is right now. I'm really bad with names lately. And there we go. So we got this guy done, we got this guy done. And I think they look really good together, which is the whole point. I think both got that Chiodo vibe. This guy has a lot more color stuff going on, but then he's got, yeah, they match up good, I think. I like his cotton candy hair. But yeah, that's kind of, that's it for today. I mean, you know, I might throw in a few details on here, like, just for the sake of detailing, because I like dots. You guys have seen me draw shit, you know, I can't leave well enough alone, you know what I mean? But see, that looks good. A little bit here too. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. And the reason you're wondering, like, why is there like a line around here? It's because I'm gonna cut these to fit a frame. So I pre-measured a 1/2 inch all around. And like, here's 2. And basically the whole thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like 4 of these. And that'll be just a whole little Killer Clown series. This is the guy who turns the policeman into his ventriloquist dummy. This is the guy who does the shadow puppet dinosaur that eats the guy. So I'm gonna do the little shorty guy that with the boxing gloves. I'm gonna do the guy with pink hair who delivers the pizza. Yeah, Blundimus, it's live. Although, like, I'm about to wrap it up, unfortunately, because I've been on here for like about 110 minutes already. But yeah, been doing Killer Clowns today. So these are the 2 for today. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm gonna scan both of these because they're gonna become prints on my website. The film's really funny, dude. You should watch it. I think it's on HBO Max right now. It used to be on Hulu. Might still be on Hulu. Because I know sometimes movies are on multiple things. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just finishing up. Because I drew this one from pretty much from start to finish on here. Sometimes it's on YouTube even, just with ads. You know, it gets around. It's probably on Amazon as well, because I know Amazon bought MGM. The huge clown coming out of the tent. Maybe. You know, not right now, but, you know, definitely open to doing more of these. Because I do a lot of Killer Clowns prints on my Etsy store, and they do really well, but, like, I've never really drawn them, like, really detailed like this. And I set up that print so I can just, you know, drag and drop art in there. So I'm just like, I'm gonna do a couple more of the regular clowns, and then, because this was the first one I did, but the original drawing I did of him, I'm not a super fan of. Like, it's okay, you know, but now I'm much better artist than I was when I did that, so I'm just gonna tweak that artwork and drop this guy in there, because I think this one looks much better. I mean, all the stuff for the Kickstarter is done. I've just held off because I've been busy with a lot of, you know, a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I'm finally feeling better. That was the main thing. It turned out like I didn't, you know, everybody. So basically, I got COVID. It turns out the reason I had COVID really bad is because actually before all this shit happened, actually, me getting COVID was a happy accident, because if I didn't, I would have found out that I have this disease called valley fever, which is basically I had a fungal infection growing in one of my lungs. So I'm on medicine for that, and I had all this other shit that was like, you know, you have like stuff that's wrong with you, and you're kind of like, whatever, I'll just learn to deal with that. One of the things I had was this really bad rash on my arms. Like, it's not there anymore, but I have a scar from it, like right here. You can kind of see it, like right there. Like, it goes all the way around, because it was like, it kept coming back and it was super itchy, and now I have a scar. I had it on both my arms. You can kind of see the scar from that here. And that was from this valley fever. Like, I could never find pictures of this rash to show my dermatologist. And then when I got diagnosed from this, I typed in valley fever rash, and it was exactly what I had. So I've been on like this hardcore medicine for it called fluconazole. I have to take like 2 things of it every day for the next like, I've been on it for about a month now, like 3 more months to kill the infection. It basically kills any fungal infection you have in your body, so it's like pretty hardcore. And like right now, like I even had like a fungal infection in my nails, and it's been fixing that. So yeah, like, you know, you have athlete's foot or whatever, if it gets in your nails, it's like, that's what it is. but you have it in your lungs. Because out here in the desert, if you breathe the shit in, it gets in your lungs and it can grow in your lungs, and it's gnarly. So like I got a CT scan and it was like, dude, your part of your lungs collapsed. And the whole thing is full of like nodules, which are this fungus floating around. So I'm gonna have to go see a pulmonary doctor anyway, because if I hadn't gotten this diagnosis, there's a lot of people who have this thing. They think they have lung cancer because it looks like lung cancer on a CT scan, you know. But I don't smoke or anything, and but I have to go to one just to make my doctor happy. So yeah. Anyway. Um, but yeah, I've been on that. I feel 10 times, like 100 times better. I don't cough at all anymore. Because if you guys watched any of my videos from like December, I can't not stop coughing, or I sound like, you know, like dead. So I had that shit since at least this valley fever stuff. I've had that since at least, you know, early summer, and I never really knew I had it. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like usually, it's it was like a whole thing, because usually people who, thank you, people who get this valley fever thing, usually their like immune system is totally fucked up. Like and I'd been on antibiotics for most of this year for these stupid cysts on my neck, so it totally destroyed my immune system. Cause like for real, the people who usually get this valley fever stuff are like super old people, or people who have like autoimmune like diseases, or like fucking like AIDS or something, HIV, like people who have no immune system. So I was like, how the hell did I get this? And yeah, so it's all cuz you know, so that's why you got to be careful when you take medicine, like especially if a doctor puts you on something for months at a time, it will mess you up. So be careful. Not telling you not to trust medicine, just be careful. And you know, if you feel weird, you know, there might be something going on inside you don't even know about. So thankfully, you know, I'm gonna go see a pulmonary doctor. Hopefully I don't have cancer or any shit like that. I don't think I do. Like I check my oximeter and all that stuff. I have no problems breathing. I don't smoke, so I think I'm fine, you know, but I'm gonna go just to make my doctor happy, you know? Yeah, exactly. So I was like, the only way I could have gotten cancer is from breathing in like markers. You know what I mean? Not to say the shit isn't strong, because it is, you know, like, but yeah, I feel much better. But yeah, I think the shit that sucked the most is I was sick for months, you know, like I wasn't on at all during November and all that, you know, December. I mean, and even October, because I had wanted to do the whole, you know, Inktober thing, drawing something every day, and I was just like trying to get through it, you know, and it sucked. But you know, I really wasn't working, so it, you know, like, you know, I went through a ton of my savings, so that's like, you know, that's why I kind of need to do the Kickstarter, honestly. But yeah, like the art for it is badass. I've done more sketches than you guys have seen, so I'm not, I'm not a, well, we all are, but yeah, kind of. I'm not gonna have a super date on it, because I am working on some shit for Tops right now that I can't really talk about. Once that's done, then I will be able to put some effort into doing the Kickstarter and all that stuff. But this stuff I'm doing to make prints. They're on my site. And usually I don't do non-GPK stuff on my live stream, but you know, because I wasn't you know, making new stuff for my Etsy store, or the Terror Trader, the store where I set up at, we sold mostly everything we were selling, and now it's like really low on artwork. Yeah, so I'm gonna scan these. These are gonna be new frame pieces for that store, and hopefully I can get a couple more done. So I'm probably gonna work on another clown tomorrow on stream, more than likely. The last few days, I've actually been working on a ton of Valentine's prints to put up on my Etsy. I'll show you guys what they look like. I have them on my phone. Let me see. Because they look really cool. So Just need to get it to load up on my phone. Here we go. If they are this it? Halloween? No, these aren't it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, these are cool. And these are this is digital art on. Yeah, it is pretty dope. All right. So these are Valentine's prints I'm going to have on my Etsy store. They're like they're the exact same size as the thing I've been doing. So this is Ash. So and here's the clown from Scream, Ghostface. And then here's American Psycho. There's Freddy and Dracula. And there's David from the Lost Boys and Hannibal. And then the alien from They Live. And the Bride of Frankenstein. And Frankenstein. So these are all prints I've been working on. So they all have the same background. It's an anatomical heart. These are like all letterpress. I came up with the lines, like, or my girlfriend came up with them, like the They Live one. She says, oh, put marry and reproduce on there. And this line, this is something Hannibal tells Clarice. This is one that my girlfriend came up with. This is from the movie. This is one I came up with. This is one I came up with, but it's a line from the movie. This is one my girlfriend came up with. And this is from the movie. So I like this kind of art. It's like, it's kind of like letterpress because like, like you see all the little stuff, and then like I basically like I clean, these are all pictures from the movie, and I just clean them up, vectorize them. After I did that little dot thing, like, it's called a halftone pattern. You see them in the newspaper, like pictures are all these little dots. And then I turned that into a vector. Then I did the weathering because I like weathering stuff. So these are all going to be up on my store. Yeah, that's what these are. These are going to be 5x7 like little postcard prints. And I'm going to be selling them on my store. That's the whole reason. I'll probably do like a set of like all 10 of them, But this one I think came out really good. This is weirdly enough my favorite one. But yeah, this is at one point I thought about doing this as a Kickstarter, but like I just didn't get it done early. Like if I'd gotten this done like on the 1st of January, I could have done this as a Kickstarter. But I'm just like selling it on my store. Yeah, I mean I really like the Freddy sweater here. It's just like all the stuff on there. So yeah, these will be on my store tomorrow. Like this is the same alien that's on my They Live print. And I couldn't find a good picture of Patrick Bateman in his suit. So I like, cut the head off of him, and it's the same body. I just changed the head. But I don't think you can really tell all that much. I think it looks cool. But yeah, I'm really good at digital art. I've been doing it for like since like 1997 now. So like this would probably I was able to I had this idea. I'm like I can do this and blah blah. It took me like a few days to do it, but there's like 10 of them and they're all way different. So, but he looks really cool too, I think. So yeah, that's the other thing I've been working on besides the thing I can't talk about and this stuff. Yeah, well, the other reason I like the hearts in the background, because I didn't do like, cartoon hearts, is because since it's an anatomical heart, I mean they're like Valentines, but I can leave them up all year because it's just kind of like just a cool background, So that's kind of why I'm jazzed about it. I'm like, see, I can just keep making those evergreen because I bought this rack that's just sized for these prints. It's like 6 feet tall, so I need stuff for it. So I can do that. I'm gonna do some Garbage Pail Kids mini prints. Like it's not gonna say Garbage Pail Kids obviously because I don't want tops to like, but basically like like the ones I've been doing that are just this size, and they'll be like little prints. Yeah. So once I get those done, you guys will see those. And then those I can make into a set in the future. So I'm just working on stuff for the future because I'm going to need a set of cards for Gross Card Con. So the earlier I do shit for that, the better, you know? Mind you, I haven't even been invited as a guest to Gross Card Con yet, but hopefully that happens, you know? I'd like to think I'm pretty popular. I was a guest last time, so let's knock on wood, you know? Tell the Gross Card Con people, hey, invite Victor as a guest. You know, once they announce it or whatever. You know? He doesn't live that far from Nevada. Just get him a hotel room. Anyway, once they start talking about it, I'll like bug you guys, like tag me, tell them to invite me. Exactly. I'm pretty sure did they even give me anything last time? They should have. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if I end up being at Gross Card Con, I'm totally gonna do like a meetup and we'll do some shit, you know, like live. We'll do a live draw, you know. It's cool, you know. I have ideas, so we'll make it happen, you know. And me and my girlfriend are working on some cool art for that too, because she's really smart about that stuff, you know. And we have tons of like art. It's just we need to finish up. It's just been around. Like, hey, look, it's a Sid Haig ornament that's yet to be finished painting. But yeah, that stuff's all coming down the pipeline. That's something else I didn't even. That's the first you're seeing it right now. So there you go. All right, what time? Oh, it's 6 on the nose. So I think this was a good stream. I'm gonna cut it off because I need to do some dishes. I don't know if we're gonna go to the gym today, so I need to figure out if I'm gonna cook something or if we're gonna whatchamacallit, eat something else. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna actually try to be on tomorrow and promote that stream. But thank you guys for hanging out. You'll get a notification if you're subscribed to me, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't been. Anyway, I will be back later this week, and you guys are awesome, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out.